Welcome to this explainer. Look, today I'm stepping into the role of your mentor. Whether you're a brand new manager just kind of finding your footing or an aspiring leader looking to really elevate your skills, we're going to dive deep into what it actually takes to build an engaging work culture. We'll be unpacking comprehensive research drawn from nearly 100,000 employee surveys. So let's dive right in and look at how you can transform from just another boss into a leader who actively creates absolute workplace excellence.
I want you to let this famous saying really sink in for a second. People join an organization for a job and leave because of a manager. I know I'm starting out with a bit of tough love here, but the stakes of your role are absolutely massive. When you're looking at high turnover rates or disengaged teams, honestly, the mirror is usually the best place to start. Employee retention and engagement, that rests squarely on your shoulders. It's an immense responsibility for sure, but it is also an incredible opportunity.
Section 1. The power of one manager.
You know, it's so easy to point fingers at the CEO or HR or the board for a toxic culture. But the reality? It starts with you. You have the power to create a thriving microenvironment for your team. Just look at this staggering 70% figure. Up to 70% of an employee's satisfaction comes directly from their relationship with you, their immediate supervisor. It's not the fancy ping-pong tables in the break room, and it's not even just the paycheck. It's the day-to-day relationship they have with you. When employees get more from a great leader, they give more discretionary effort. It's that simple.
Section 2. Avoiding stupid management mistakes.
Okay, before we can build a thriving culture, we've got to address the dark side. The research highlights 11 common, frankly stupid behaviors that managers fall into. We're talking about things like playing the blame game for your own lack of results, having selective hearing where you only tune in to yes men, harboring a negative vision that just drags everyone down, dodging accountability, or acting like a total control freak. Look, let's be honest. We all make mistakes. But what really destroys team morale isn't slipping up once in a while. It's the frequency of these behaviors. Bad managers do these things constantly, and it just absolutely crushes engagement.
Notice the stark contrast in mindset here. Low-rated managers constantly lean on defensive excuses. They'll say stuff like, well, the employees are just never going to be happy, or HR just doesn't support me. But the best of the best leaders, they take extreme ownership. Their mindset is simply, I'm responsible for this culture. If it's broken, I'm going to fix it. That one mental shift changes literally everything about how you manage.
Section 3. Defining a compelling vision. So once you've taken that ownership, it's time to chart a path forward. If your team is stuck in mediocrity, a powerful vision is what's going to drag them out. In best of the best organizations, a full 90%, 9 out of 10 employees, clearly understand their company's goals. Why? Because the managers effectively define the future. I mean, you can't expect a team to hit a target if you've blindfolded them and spun them around, right? High morale directly correlates with high aspirations and crystal clear direction.
So here is your tangible playbook for making that happen. Step 1. Clarify your goals. Make them absolutely impossible to misunderstand. Step 2. Over-communicate those expectations. Tell your team exactly what needs to be done and why it actually matters. And step 3, this is the big one. Ensure your own daily actions fulfill that vision. If you say teamwork is your number one priority, but then you act like a lone wolf, your team is going to see right through you instantly. Your actions have to walk the walk.
Section 4. Mastering communication and trust.
Building on that vision, we move into the truly critical elements that bind a team together. Because without communication and trust, the whole shebang falls apart. Think of your leadership as this compass star. You're trying to navigate your team toward a specific goal. But listen, a team can only move in the right direction if they actually trust the person steering the ship. If they don't trust you, there is no way they're following you into uncharted waters.
Let's look at the actual data on this. Top-performing managers are rated a massive 30 percentage points higher on one simple statement: I trust my manager. Trust isn't just a nice-to-have HR buzzword, it's a competitive weapon. It completely bridges the gap between senior management's big strategy and the front line's actual execution.
So, you might be wondering, how do you actually build that trust? Well, the data reveals a really fascinating shortcut. Best of the best leaders are 26 percentage points ahead of defensive, lowest-rated managers when it comes to simply admitting they made a mistake. Think about that. Great leaders don't pretend to be perfect superheroes. They don't blame others. They just say, hey, I messed up. Here is how we fix it. That genuine vulnerability builds profound trust and respect.
Section 5. Fostering accountability and growth.
Next up, let's shift our focus to the real day-to-day management of your people. A lot of new managers desperately want to be everyone's friend, and as a result, they completely avoid tough conversations. But it's time for a little more mentorship, tough love. Hope is not a management strategy. Tolerating bad performance absolutely demoralizes your best workers. When your top performers see you letting a slacker get away with doing nothing, they lose respect for you and they lose respect for the organization. Great leaders address poor performance head-on. Get involved, give clear feedback, and establish that the employee must either correct the problem or they have to leave.
At the same time, you've got to actively foster the growth of your team. Here are a few incredible questions you can literally ask your employees tomorrow to unblock their path to growth. Ask them, who is the best boss you've ever had? What excites you about this job? And arguably the most courageous question, what do I do that actually lessens your productivity? Asking these questions shows you have a genuine interest in their success, and it gives you a literal roadmap on how to manage them better.
And hey, when they do grow, reward them appropriately. The benchmark data is crystal clear. The best cultures actively invest in and elevate their people, promoting qualified, well-trained employees to management at nearly an 80% rate. That is well above average. They don't just promote the sacred cows or their work buddies, they promote the people who have actually earned it through performance and skill.
Section 6. Creating a winning culture.
As we bring this mentorship session toward its climax, let's really focus on the active daily creation of the best workplace environment. Here's an actionable toolkit you can deploy immediately. First, aggressively solicit opinions from your team. Second, move way beyond just having an open-door policy. Have an open-mind policy where you genuinely listen to them. Third, manage by wandering around. Seriously, get out of your office, catch people doing great work, and offer coaching in real time. And finally, consistently reward excellent performance. Doing all this perfectly balances a laser focus on results with a genuine care for your people. And I really want to remind you, the strategies we've discussed today aren't just some feel-good theories. They are drawn directly from comprehensive organizational research featured in the only leadership book you'll ever need. These are proven benchmarks based on hard data from teams that consistently outperform their competitors in both retention and revenue.
Ultimately, the only change that really exists is personal change. Look, you cannot force an entire organization to change overnight, but you absolutely have the power to change your leadership habits starting today. Creating an engaged workforce, a place where people actually love to come to work, starts with the person looking back at you in the mirror.
So I want to leave you with this provocative question to chew on. At the end of the day, when your team members eventually move on to their next thing, will they leave saying they loved their job, or will they leave because of you? The choice of what kind of leader you're going to become is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, good luck out there.